If you dropped me off anywhere on the planet and I've got my phone, I think I'd be able to make my way back.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the phone is slightly is screwed up that idea of like remoteness for me.
Yeah.
Like I think because you can go anywhere and you just know where you are, and you know. So when I was running the London Marathon on my own,
and you ran out of signal.
COVID, I ran out of signal, and I ran out of battery and signal.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons I ran out of battery is that as I was running along the map, I was looking at the different restaurants that I was passing, being like, "Oh, that looks quite good. So maybe we'll go there." Like, I was using loads of battery.
Yeah.
Like, reading reviews, like looking at pictures of the dishes.
You're an idiot.
And I got down to 5% battery.
And you were doing it for charity and stuff, weren't you?
And I finished. That's why I finished, because I
and your times and things like that were really important, and the direction that you went in.
It ran out so quickly. What did I do? I turned everything off, including my music and my map. So I just had a brick phone with the app running, no music, no map. And I was running on big roads so that I wouldn't get lost. I basically got on a road called the A3. I just thought I'd stay on there.
Yeah.
I'll run.
Just follow signs to.
I was essentially on like motorways.
Yeah.
At one point I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm going to buy a charger. So I went into a shop. I was trying to like.
Keep running.
Oh, yeah. Bought a charger. And then I thought, I can't use the charger. Like I'd have to go and sit down somewhere. And then I thought, well, I can't really.
Well, you needed a battery.
I didn't. Yeah, I know. I bought a plug. So now I was just running with a carrier bag, and I couldn't go into a coffee shop because I thought it's one thing kind of going into a shop and sort of.
Because I've been there before. Airports are good for it. I mean, airports have got loads of plugs anyway. They've got you've got to be careful with those plugs. Apparently, they'll hack your phone or something like that.
Well, the airport will, or somebody will.
Or some people have set up a plug in an airport, but usually you can get those little external battery things, can't you?
Yeah, portable charger.
And they're ready to go straight away. You can just sort of
should have got that.
So
I arrived home. I just felt like I'd been on a really shit shopping trip. Like I'd basically run to a mobile phone shop, bought a plug, sort of waddled back. I was just kind of walking. By the end, I was just walking and weeping because my phone wouldn't get signal. And I was like, I know I've done the distance, but you're not fucking logging it. So I've just got to carry on, like wandering around near where I live. It was just
just a little few steps of prep would have sorted that out.
I think they should have done the prep. If you haven't. Well, I don't want to blame Paula Radcliffe, but I do think it was her voice on the app, so I've always kind of vaguely blamed her.
Let me tell you something. I've been after Radcliffe for years.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to get some dirt on her.
Yeah.
And if you want to blame her, I'm absolutely fine with that.
Yeah, well, she dropped the ball on this app, is all I'm saying.
Not all she drops when she's...
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got some dirt on her. I mean, that's the one thing you have got.
Just another little side note. If you were thinking, God, Joe was taking a long time there to get his point across, and I don't know, do we edit this? Do we edit Joe's sort of pauses out and things like that?
I might edit it, but,
Because I'm still getting flack. I'm still getting in the comments. I'm still, it'd be great if Joe could finish a story. I agree. It would be great. But for today, I'm going to let you talk.
Thank you. Well,
we're going to see. You asked for it. All right. This is what it's like having a conversation with this guy. I have to sit there. If we go.
I'm not the one saying that you should. I want you to cut in.
I know. Yeah, you're always saying that.
I'm gonna have to get in the comments, aren't I? Do I have to comment on my own podcast?
I think you might have to
go. No, you're wrong. Yeah. Let him.
You're always telling me.
If that's what I need to do.
Oh, then... Buckley, if I go on for a bit,
I know
we're in a meeting or something like that,
and I've got better as well. I used to be.
Oh God, yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
I remember a lunch I went to once where it was me and my agent and Johnny Sweet. At that point, we shared an agent. We had the same agent. We were a double act, and I told a story that was so long that I just had to.
What's going on here?
It's all right. It's
It's in the past. It was before we got together.
It was before we got together.
Right,
It's okay, don't worry. And like, you know, I sometimes just, you know, search him on Facebook and stuff. But like,
Was he bigger than me?
It doesn't matter. It's not about that. But I remember telling a story that lasted so long that my agent just had to kind of get up and excuse herself. Obviously, she was like, "I've just got to go. I've got another meeting."
Yeah.
And I was talking about The Office. It was supposed to be about like work. I just did a big thing about The Office, like why I thought it was great. And she just had to leave halfway through the story. Yeah. And I didn't stop. I was like, "Yeah, you go."
I had to do it the other day. I had to do it the other day. Me and Joe had a Zoom call. Yeah. It was a pre-meeting meeting. We were having a meeting the next day, and like they were like, "Oh, we should probably just have a chat before we go to this meeting." We're like, "Cool." And I did say right at the beginning, I've got to go in an hour. Then it started we're 45 minutes in, and I was just like, just trying to jump in at some point. I was like, "Sorry, it's Joe. Sorry, mate. I've got 15 minutes, and I've got to go." Then it got to like 3 minutes to where I had to be on this other call, and I was like, "I got to go, guys. I've just got to go. I've got to go." And we didn't talk about everything that we were supposed to talk about.
I do remember that. I'm sorry about that. And I think I also started a new story when you were kind of in the process of leaving. It wasn't.
Well, that was it, because I was also like, "Oh no, we've moved on to another thing. Joe's moved on to another thing now, so I've got to say I've got to go."
It was bad. It was bad. It was bad etiquette from me. I shouldn't have started something else. At the time, it felt like it was really important, but I can't remember what it is now.
Listen, if I didn't have to go, I would have sat there all day with you, mate.
Oh, well, thank you.
No, you worry about that.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. There were not many who would.
Oh, the chocolate hobnob. My God, what a biscuit! What a biscuit! Biscuit.
And that top tier biscuit.
It is. It's right up there.
I agree. Robust biscuit.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We're just Just take a moment for Joe to finish his biscuit.
I haven't eaten today.
Yeah, don't eat too quick.
I haven't eaten today, and I'll tell you what. Where this studio is, just outside the studio, there's this street full of food trucks, and oh God, my God, it smells absolutely incredible.
I know.
You can't move for like little
restaurants,
enough time food from all over the world. Oh, every time I come here, I'm like, I should sort of try some of this food. It looks absolutely amazing. I've had people come up to me going, "Jay, Jay, can I get you a burrito or something
on the house?"
I go, yeah. I can't. I left my phone at home. I'm running late, mate. Do you ever find that?
You should go to him. Have you got a fact?
Do you know
that's what that'd be?
Do you know? Like, I think you're the same as me. You definitely are the same. You're worse than me. But that like, I can't not chat to someone.
Yeah, I'm like
if they see me on the street and they want to just tell me how great they thought the Inbetweeners was.
I'm like that.
Like, even if I'm like, I've turned up to auditions, like important things in my life, like late. One time I remembered I turned up really late for an audition. Not really late. I was about sort of 10, 15 minutes late because I wasn't running late. I was getting there just on time, which for me is running late. I like to be sort of 10 minutes before I'm supposed to.
Good habit to have.
But I was chatting to this kid, must have been about 18, 19, and he started telling me how he's going to film school. So I was like, "Oh, that's brilliant!" Like, and I was just chatting to him, like trying to encourage him. I just felt I had this responsibility, even though I suppose I don't, and maybe I'm building myself up in my own head to be more important than what I actually am. But I was like, "Oh, this young guy has seen me off the television." And he'd be like, "Oh God," and he was like saying things like, "Oh, the Inbetweeners like really sort of influenced me," and so I didn't want to go, "Mate, can you fuck off? I'm running late at the moment." So I was like, just trying to be encouraging, and
I'm sure that it made a big difference to him. I think I go the other way, or not the other way. I go the same way, but I go too far. Like, I've been in conversations with people who have come over,
and they go, "Mate, I've got to go."
I know,
yeah.
like genuine, like and also it gets into a bit of a sort of vortex, because I think they think that because I've in a way got the status in that situation, because I'm the one who's like well known,
Yeah.
they're like, well, I can't interrupt him because he's like he's just an important person. But as you know, like if you don't interrupt me, I'll just go.
You will.
I will go forever.
Yeah.
So we do get into a.
You are like
we
Duracell bunny.
Yeah. So we get into a bit of a problem in these conversations where it's not clear who's going to end it.
Yeah.
Because I keep being reminded of other things, and then before long.
What was the story where you forgot something?
I forgot. Okay, so you said you forgot your phone. I once
Yeah.
The best thing I've ever left. Just left an entire laptop just in the public toilet in what was it? One of the big, probably Euston or probably Euston. I think Euston. Just left it. There's a bit where you wash your hands. I used to just carry my laptop around with me. Got very bad laptop etiquette. There was one I didn't even have a bag for once. I just used to carry it to get wet, it go in the rain.
I had
and this I just so you know where you wash your hands. There's people here, and then there's a thing in between you like this. Just put it up there. Walk out.
I think right.
I got it back, but
I also left my phone once in a cab in New York with Ian Morris, who, to be fair, and he's got his problems, Morris, right? But he's he'll be the first to tell you. But
but
he's a generous man.
Oh, he's very generous.
Like he does like I've known him since I was a teenager.
He's one of the most gentlemen.
He'll always take you out for dinner. He'll always like get you drinks and stuff like that. He's never been like a stingy guy.
Oh my goodness, no. He's
He commented me. We were in New York. This is when we were doing that disastrous PR thing in America, trying to sort of get the Inbetweeners out in America. Which was just like Spinal Tap, by the way.
It was like Spinal Tap. It was like we'd have a screening arranged in a cinema, and they'd be like, the cinema's burned down. What?
Yep. That happened once.
It's burned down.
We started off. Do
we have anything else arranged in that city?
We started off in California. We did a screening in a cinema in California, and it was mostly homeless people, just so they could come inside for a little while, get some air conditioning.
And they were walking out.
Yeah, and they were. They did sort of drift off after a while.
Get me back on the street. This is.
Then we Then we split up in two and sort of went around two different ways to the East Coast, because me and you were together and we were in Minneapolis.
We
were in Minneapolis.
It was really funny.
We had a newspaper interview.
Yeah,
set up at a cafe. We turned up at this cafe. It was all boarded up, and we were like, "This hasn't. Not only is this not open, this hasn't been open for a long time."
I know.
And then the person.
It was called the Hard Times Cafe.
Because
Bob Dylan was he spent some time in Minneapolis or something.
Is that right?
And it was a student interview.
Yeah, it was for a student newspaper.
And this guy was such a flake. So he sent it didn't exist anymore.
We had a publicist with us who was an American. He didn't know who we were either. And but they were saying things like like in interviews, they were saying things like, they were throwing shade at some, and we were like, I know what that is now, retrospectively.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
And we were like, what? What's that mean? What do you mean? We were like, there was such a sort of miscommunication every step on this PR trail.
Yeah.
The publicist that was with us called the guy that we were supposed to be sitting down in the cafe having an interview with. And I don't know why he put it on speakerphone, because it didn't help me at all whatsoever. And he was like, "Oh, hi, we're at that cafe. It looks like it's closed, but closed for business, closed for good."
Yeah.
And the bloke just went on the other end of the phone. All I heard was, "Oh, what? That was today?" I was like, "We've literally come all the way to Minneapolis to talk to you, mate."
Oh God.
Then I ended up in New York, and me and Ian, New York, was actually the place where people got the Inbetweeners.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually, we did a screening there. It was absolutely packed. And everyone was really excited that the Inbetweeners was coming to America or whatever. So say what you like about New York, but
well, you need to,
they're all right with me.
It's Americans who are interested in English culture.
Right.
hesitate to say culture, but it is Anglophiles, I
Yeah.
suppose, is what you're after.
But
People who
Morris,
like Europe and like Britain and
Morris made a comment about me tipping the taxi drivers because we kept getting taxis everywhere.
Mhm.
And he was like, God, you're pretty sweet on the tips there, aren't you, Buckley? I was like, you got to look after people. Got to look after people. I remember saying that to him. I don't know, I don't know what point I was trying to make. But I was just like, got to look
Oh,
after
it's
people,
nice.
mate.
It's nice
And he was
to-
like, yeah, no, I get it. And then I was like, oh, I've left my phone in that taxi. Ian called the taxi. And I was like, there's no way. You cannot leave a phone in New York, in Manhattan, in a taxi and expect to ever see that again.
Mhm.
He called my phone. The taxi driver picked it up. And he was like, listen, I'm busy doing fares and stuff at the moment. I'm sort of uptown or whatever, but I'll be probably down to you guys in a couple of hours. I'll give you a call. I'll meet you at this corner. A couple of hours' time, I met the taxi driver, got my phone back.
That's
And I
great.
went to him, that's why you tip.
Yeah.
That's why you do it.
I have a story about phones and taxis, which is that Hannah left her phone in a taxi once, and we had a conversation with another taxi driver. This is in London, and the second taxi driver said, "You'll never get that back." He would have thrown it in the river
Right.
because it's too much of a pain trying to get phones back to people.
Yeah. Well,
So it's like,
that's
I
what this guy was like,
It's
listen,
basically like, I can't run a lost property office.
Yeah.
It's not. If I throw it in the river, I suppose what they're thinking is it sort of protects you in a way. Like no one's going to steal your information.
Right.
But at the same time, I just haven't got time to. I don't know if that's true. I'd be interested to know if that's true. Do taxi drivers throw phones in the river because they just haven't got time to kind of deal with the number of lost phones?
I genuinely think that that's an honourable thing to do.
It's better than just leaving
nicking your phone.
It's better than nicking it, and it's better than leaving it somewhere random.
Yeah.
Um.
Destroy it. Just chuck it in the river
Yeah.
as you're driving on the embankment or something. Just fling it out the window. There we go. And that was some stories about lost stuff.
It's great.
Joe and James, fact up.
Let's do a podcast. Welcome to Joe and James Fact Up. Each week we'll be bringing facts to one another that we deem interesting, and our policy is the more interesting, the more true it is. We'll also dig into the weird things that you'd like to think are true but don't want to research in a segment that we're calling Fact Check. So if you do want to send us your facts, our email is hello@joeandjamespod.com. We've also got a cheeky little WhatsApp number. The number is 07822034330. And you can follow us on our socials at Joe and James Pod. And if you want to watch our episodes in full, just go on YouTube and search for Joe and James Fact Up. Now, let's get Fact Up.
So, James, it's St. Patrick's Day today. So we're paying homage to the patron saint of Ireland,
St. Patrick.
St. Patrick.
Yeah. I've got...
You got a fact?
Well, no.
I've just given up. Mine isn't even a fact anymore. It's just like, it's definitely not true.
No, I should probably just say that I do that really annoying thing that I assume Irish people find so fucking irritating. Right, so like I am...
Well, you become Irish on St. Patrick's Day.
Well, no, but I am Irish. I was born in England, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I am English.
Yeah.
But I'm named after my granddad.
You're just
Paddy.
getting that in for
James.
the incoming government.
My full name is James Patrick Buckley. He's a very Irish.
Patrick, yeah.
James Patrick Buckley,
Okay.
very Irish name. Lots of family in West Cork.
Yeah.
I love if I meet someone from Ireland. I love telling them about my family from West Cork. And
West Cork's a cool bit as
And,
well. That's a good...
you know, my dad grew up there, and I do that thing of, even though I know nothing about sort of what it's like to be Irish at all whatsoever, I do love trying to convince people I am Irish.
But I just think it's because, me and you, we're from Essex. And I love Essex. I genuinely love it.
It's Route 1, isn't it?
It's incredibly underrated. It's beautiful. People from Essex are lovely. But it's not got that sort of romance.
Not sexy. No,
It's not got that. It's not got that. And it's not got that, like, and they say that his descendants did come from Essex.
Well, see,
you're like, well, it just hasn't got, even though it has got a lot of history.
Does, yeah. Well, it does. Yeah, of course it does.
There's shitloads, but we don't seem to, somehow in Essex, we're not very good at...
Colchester, I think, is the first
Roman
city.
Roman capital?
Yeah.
If Colchester's got Roman walls,
Yeah.
huge,
Yeah, you can
huge
just
big motherfuckers.
you can just throw up on them and piss
they
on them
called
as
them.
you come.
Yeah, no, I know. No, they are. They
Colchester.
also they've just got like IKEA adverts on them. And
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
But like, so I don't know. I think Essex maybe it just wears its history lightly. Do you know what I mean?
But I
Maybe we're just
do.
like, sure we got it. We just don't go on about it.
I've done it before. I remember Chris Moyles is a really great bloke. He's a nice chap, Chris Moyles. I won't have a bad word said against him.
Yep.
And he does a big birthday bash. And I went to one a couple of years ago, and oh my God, there were some stars there.
Mm.
There was some there was Baby Spice and Beppe from EastEnders, and he had all these stars, but he's also got his Irish lot. He's got loads of cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff, and I just hung out with them.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like sidling up to Judge Rinder or
No.
anything like that.
No.
I was like hooked on his, and they were such a laugh. And I just, because me and Claire were both supposed to go, and she was ill that day, so I went, well, I'm fucking going.
Yeah.
I'm off, love. See you later.
Yeah.
Got really, really drunk with all these, and I was just talking about like, I'm Irish.
It sounds really funny. I once did,
even though I was drunk, the next morning I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I must have been unbearable. Like,
if you're drunk
but there is
and
something
you
about
think
Ireland.
I'm being a bit pretentious now, you cannot even imagine how pretentious you're really being. I'm talking about myself now, but like,
right.
if I've been in conversations where I'm like being drunk and I'm like, this feels a bit much even through this state.
I think we are, it is St. Paddy's Day. We are, I think it is fair to say there's something cool about the Irish. The Irish are cool.
Yeah.
They are cool.
And
everyone basically wants to be Ireland.
Well, as I
Irish.
say, as someone come from Essex, which I love, but I do think that we're probably not as cool as. And I think, and also again, I think it. And I say I love Essex. I think it's a fairly low bar. I think there's not many people who are like, oh, Essex is, but really cool.
I want to get my, and I'm eligible. I could get an Irish passport. And I really want to get that just so that I can say I've got an Irish passport.
I think
I feel like it would make me seem more interesting.
I
don't know how I'd drop it into conversations, but mark my words, I'd find a way.
Will it be helpful? I mean, there was there's some sort of trading organisation that we voted our way out of for some reason. That you could actually be a. It's really weird. I'd love to. I wish they.
I don't care about that. I know,
but it's weird. No, it's just. I know.
I want to be able to go. Sorry, I'm late to the podcast,
Yeah.
guys. I left my Irish passport at home.
Yeah.
Had to go back and get it.
Yeah. But no, I think you're right. I mean, I think Ireland's cool. I don't know whether Ireland wants my vindication or actually says no thanks. But
Don't need it, mate.
Nonetheless,
Ireland's just sitting there
I
going,
think Ireland's cool. Yeah.
Don't need it.
Yeah, I think that's probably true.
Ireland's also the birthplace of my favourite guitarist, probably the greatest guitarist that's ever lived, Rory Gallagher. And Cork, he's from Cork as well, which I'm trying to sort of get some secondhand coolness from.
Now, I don't know who that is. I'm sorry if that's terrible. Is he in a band?
He's dead now, bless him. But he was...
Was he... So he's a guitarist from a band that
he was in a band in the 60s called Taste, who were...
I haven't heard of them either. Is that terrible?
Maybe.
Are they quite... Maybe.
They were making 70s music in the 60s.
Okay.
This guy was so influential, but and also he never played the game.
Yeah.
He got before Ronnie Wood got into the Rolling Stones, they were sort of courting him, and he was very much like, you've already got a front man. I'm not going to play second fiddle to Mick Jagger. I'm my own guy. Like, honestly, look into Rory Gallagher. Also, listen to his music. It's fucking amazing.
Another Gallagher.
Just go.
Also, what was it with Gallagher's and
Ireland?
Oh, it's Ireland. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are they Irish extraction
those
as well?
Those boys, the brothers you're talking about, their parents are both Irish. They're Irish immigrants.
Okay. Liverpool? Is they?
Yeah.
I know
Manchester,
Manchester, but Liverpool, Manchester are
Manchester.
have
Loads of Irish going on there.
Oh, have I said about the Manchester shipping canal?
Go on.
the Manchester Shipping Canal is there because Liverpool was this massive port, and Manchester was just getting none of the action because you couldn't get to Manchester in a massive boat. So they were like, well, what if we had a canal between Liverpool and Manchester? They went, well, you can't. But a big boat can't go on a canal. And they went, what about a shipping canal? So it's a huge. So it's a bit like the Panama Canal or the Suez Canal.
Right.
And that basically then gave Manchester a cut of Liverpool's trade, and that's the I always thought that was. And I filmed,
is that your fact?
No, it's bonus fact. I've just got I just know so much. I just know about the shipping canal.
You just burst it.
I've got a Patrick fact that's not true. But anyway, so what's he called? Rory Gallagher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Really great. Like, just the greatest guitarist. There's a story. I'm not sure how true it is actually. I think it's gone into rock lore. There's sort of different names that come up, but there is a story apparently, and I love this story, and I really hope that it's true. Yeah, that journalist once asked Jimi Hendrix what it was like to be the greatest guitarist in the world, and he said, "I don't know. Ask Rory Gallagher."
That's nice.
But I've also heard that story that he said that about someone else as well.
They praised it about everyone.
But I hope, but he was Rory Gallagher's amazing. Anyway, Joe, do you want to give me your sexy little fact there?
My fact is, as I've said, it's not a fact, but I thought it was an interesting tale. So it's about St. Patrick's staff. He had a staff.
Was it one of those ones with the wooden club at the end of it?
Oh, you mean for like beating snakes, I suppose.
Yeah.
Would be. Well, the story is he banished snakes from Ireland.
Yeah.
That's not true. There were never any snakes.
Yeah, after the Ice Age, Ireland was already
it was already a snake-free zone.
Yeah.
And
it's one of the few places on the planet to not have any snakes at all whatsoever.
I always used to like that when I was a little boy because I'm quite frightened of snakes, and I always thought Ireland would be a nice place to go. Therefore, although I also knew Britain didn't have any poisonous snakes, although maybe an adder could kill a dog. So that was what I grew up with. I don't enjoy snakes. I think they're weird. They are just weird. Like that length with no legs. What are you doing? Just
zero legs.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
it's fucking weird. Why do you need to be that long? They don't do anything with it. They're like, it's a hassle. You can see it's a hassle to them.
Yeah, and
they're like, fuck me. Like, they're constantly having to wind it round.
Yeah.
They're never stretched out fully. Never. They never stretch out fully.
Some of them are massive as well, aren't they? Those sort of anacondas.
They're too big. They're weird. They kill you in a weird way. They're poisonous. They suffocate you to death. Everything they do is weird. I know they're not wet. That's the best I can say for them is they're not wet.
Do we need them?
They're dry. It is. Do we need them? Do we need them? They are weird, but they're at that size where they get away with it.
Right.
And that is the crab. That's Carl Pilkington on the crab. Anyway, St. Patrick had this staff. And the story is he was going to go to Rome.
Right.
And on the way to Rome, he stopped at an island in the Mediterranean Sea. And on this island, there was a young couple, and the young couple had children and grandchildren, but the children and grandchildren...
What, and they're a young couple?
Yeah, the children and grandchildren were decrepit and old. The grandchildren were old. The children were old. But the couple were not old.
Is this your dream? Is this a dream?
And they were holding an octopus.
Is this another dream?
And he said, "What's going on here?"
Right.
And they said,
he did. I bet he did.
Yeah,
he went in and what's that all about then, mate?
I suppose he said like, "What's the crack?" or something.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
And they said that they'd been born, or they'd got together at the time of Jesus,
right?
And Jesus had blessed them. So that's why they were now, 500, 600 years old,
right? And
hadn't aged at all. And they had a staff.
Yeah.
And it was Jesus's staff.
Mm-hmm.
And St. Patrick got given the staff. And the story about the staff is that it was made of ash, and when he was in England trying to convert people to Christianity, he planted it in the ground, and he went down to this town to try and convert the inhabitants to Christianity, and he was there for so long trying to convert them
Yeah.
that his staff grew into a tree, and that town is now called Aspatria in Cumbria, which means St. Patrick's Ash.
There we go.
So that's all that. I mean, as I say, I don't think any of that's true, but I thought it was a nice story about this young couple, you know, and weird as well. A bit of weirdness in it.
Yeah, there's all kinds of shit
Quite
going
sort
on
of M. Night Shyamalan.
It is, yeah.
It's quite that, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got a bone to pick with that geezer, to be honest with you. I think he had a couple of good films, and then ever since
Did he do
he did Sixth Sense,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
I feel like I'm just repeating myself now, but have I told you my story about when I was at school and I did a presentation at the Film Society, and it was about films with surprise endings.
Right.
And I'd got all these films that I knew had surprise endings. So the first stage was that I went through a load of films that have got amazing endings, just fast forwarded through the film and was like, okay, so that's what that is. Somehow, I don't know how I got them all. I must have got them on tape or something.
Yeah.
Got them all together. So first of all, I ruined all the films for myself. And then in the presentation, it was the most hated presentation that was ever done at the Film Society, because I was just going through these films and people were going, no, no.
Yeah.
And they were walking out, they were running out of the room. They were shouting at me.
Yeah.
And as I was doing it, I was like, yeah, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah,
This is a fucking terrible idea. So that's why I've never seen The Sixth Sense, but I know what the ending is.
There's a film, there's one of his more recent films, because like when we find out there's an M. Night what's his name? Shyamalan.
I think it's M. Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan. When he does bring a film out, me and Claire are like, oh, that's exciting, we'll watch that. We get suckered in every time. We go, yeah, we'll watch that. The last film I watched of his was a film called Old. I think it was called Old.
It looked good.
Yeah, we watched a preview of it. We're like, right, fucking hell. And it is like that. And if you just watch the preview, it's a bunch of people that go to a beach, and for some reason they can't get off this beach, and they are aging rapidly. Like within hours, they are they're just getting really old.
Just like British tourists.
And you go, and you go, fucking hell, that's interesting. I wonder what the M. Night twist is there. I wonder what's going on. No twist.
Right. Okay. You just don't know what's happened in the end.
Twist. No, it's not explained. It's not explained at all. It's not explained at all. And I don't mind spoiling that for people, because I'm doing a service. Because I actually bought that film. I think I spent like $18.99 of it. I bought it on the day of release.
Yeah, you should know why that's happening. I think I'd want to know.
Yeah,
why.
you go. What the fuck's going on here
in this world? Or
exactly, I would have been
know.
like St. Patrick on that island. I'm going, what's all this about then?
Yeah.
And if it was like, oh, Jesus did this or something like that, I would have gone, right, cool, brilliant. But you don't get anything.
And was it a beach? Anything about it being a beach?
And they can't leave the beach. They cannot get off this beach. They can't get off of it.
Is that explained?
Not really.
Not really. It is annoying. I do think if you're one of the, I think you're duty bound. Something that doesn't wash with me is this, like, oh, it's more interesting if we don't explain it. That to me is never. No. I know. I tell you what's more interesting is if you do explain it.
Yeah.
That is more.
The explanation is the interesting bit.
That is the interesting bit. I mean, it really.
Stuff that's going on is weird. Sure.
Yep.
The interesting bit is why that stuff's going on. And
exactly? You need an explanation. It's not.
There was no explanation. And if I did miss the explanation, then I'm sure people would stick that in the comments for me. But I can't. It was a few years ago that I watched that film, and I remember being furious.
Maybe I'm trying to tell you the explanation, but you keep talking over me.
Sorry, Joe. Sorry, Joe. Should we talk about this week's fact check?
Yeah, okay.
We should probably move on, shouldn't we? It is time for fact check. This is the part of the podcast where we read a fact or a question that you'd like us to get to the bottom of. And then we're going to have a good little think during the break there, and we'll come back and let you know how true it feels to us to decide whether it passes our fact check. And then we've got Queen Lily May as well. She's back. Probably should have said that at the beginning. Who will be, again, we don't want to M. Night you, leave you on a sort of, well, wasn't it? We'll actually we'll decide what me and Joe think, and then we'll find out.
Decide.
Then we'll find out
decide.
then we'll find out the truth. Oh, I'll read this because I feel like it'll get confusing. I was about to go, Joe, do you want to read that next bit?
No, because you'll see why in a minute.
This week's fact check comes from Joe.
What? How can this be? Because I'm Joe, and
to clear things up, Joe has sent us a voice note.
Oh, well, I don't remember sending a voice note, so it must be a different Joe.
Must be a different Joe.
Hey guys, how's it going? So, not to exacerbate racist Irish stereotypes or anything, but
no, do
St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and I wanted to fact check something about alcohol, specifically the idea that different alcoholic drinks have different effects on people's behaviour. I've heard from so many people that gin makes them depressed,
weepy,
or that whiskey makes them aggressive, or wine is a happy drunk, so on and so forth. I think it's a load of bollocks, personally, made up by people who can't handle their drink. But nothing is fact or fiction until I hear you confirm it. So hopefully you can help me out with that one. Cheers. Good luck.
Well, cheers indeed.
Thank you very much for that, Joe. Listen, we're going to have a little ad break, and then we'll be back with our thoughts.
Joe and James, Fact Up!
All right, welcome back to Joe and James Fact Up. And we were just fact-checking on the behalf of Joe, who wanted to know, do different alcoholic beverages make you feel different emotions? And I'm going to have to say, Joe, first of all, not you, Joe, the other Joe.
This is
going to be a problem, isn't it? But I liked his attitude.
I
absolutely loved his attitude.
He scuttled his own fact. Even as he was saying it. He was like, I don't think it's bollocks.
No, but it's again, we're open to that. I've heard this. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
You guys decide.
Yeah.
And I like being the decider. And I will say, it feels fact to me. I've heard all those things. Gin makes you weepy. Whiskey can get you a bit angry.
I've had friends who are like, I can't have Stella.
Right.
As opposed to other beers.
Right. Yeah.
This would be really good if we try and get a Stella.
I think there's facts in it. But I do see where, I'll call him Irish Joe. I do see where Irish Joe's coming from. Because also it's like, don't mix your drinks. Don't mix your drinks.
The grain.
Do not mix your drinks. And I do subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Like, I do just mainly stick to beer now.
Yeah.
I don't really do shorts or cocktails. I do just try and stick to beer because I feel like, not that it changes my personality or that I get angry or anything like that. I do think hangovers last longer.
Mm-hmm.
If I've had like some beers, some cocktails, a little bit of champagne.
But I also think if you're having, the worst hangovers I've ever had have been when I've had very sugary cocktails. That's really bad as well.
I've decided no more champagne for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've just decided it. One, I don't really like it anyway. It's only like me and Claire never get champagne in, but we will. I think we've got like an emergency bottle if we've got some grown-ups coming round. And it's like, well, we've got to offer them champagne.
Champagne's a little overrated as well.
Actually. I don't like it. I genuinely, it makes me feel sick. It gives me heartburn. Yeah. I don't. It gives me acid. I just don't. I just love beer. I just really love beer.
I also like the fact that beer is, you can get like the best beer in the world for not that much money.
Yeah.
For not much more than
it's the people's drink.
It's the people's drink. Whereas you're never going to taste the finest wine in the world unless you're a very wealthy.
I remember one year, me and Claire went to a posh little restaurant, and it was our anniversary. So, I was thinking, might push the beds together tonight, So I was showing off a little bit, and I was like, never had it before in my life. was like, would you like some champagne? She was like, yeah, I'll have some champagne. I was like, bottle of Cristal for me and my wife, please. Like, never had it before at all whatsoever. And the only thing I know about Cristal is that American rappers drink it.
It's really expensive, isn't it?
Well expensive. Yeah, I was trying to fucking get my leg over, wasn't I? So I ordered this bottle of this Cristal. I think it cost about 350 quid. Right?
It probably
And
was,
and then as we were drinking this bottle, they went, how long are you guys going to be? Because we need this table in about 20 minutes.
Fucking hell.
And I was furious.
I mean,
I was so angry.
yeah,
I was like, I've
that's
just dropped like 350. Who else is buying Cristal tonight, by the way?
Yeah.
Fucking, you should be so lucky.
Yeah.
So I made Claire take the bottle home with her. Claire's mum was at home, actually, because she was looking after the kids while we went out for, this was when the kids were young. And me and Claire, this is one of like the 4 dates that me and Claire have been on since we've had kids. So it was a special occasion. And she had a bit, Claire's mum had a bit, and she was like, oh, that's really nice, that is. That's really good. I was like, yeah, it is good, isn't it? Yeah. I didn't say this to her, but it didn't have the effect that I wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're like,
I was just like, that's 350 quid. I'm never going to get back.
It's good. You travel a long way in that story.
Yeah.
Sort of classiness wise.
Yeah.
From,
I've traversed the spectrum.
yeah, it's good.
But
that is cheeky asking.
do you know what? I think we've still got the bottle. I think the bottle is displayed. We've got like a sort of drinks trolley in our. It's like a sort of 1920s prohibition. It's really cool. Like Claire does all the decor in our house. It is really nice. We've got this sort of prohibition drinks trolley in our living room.
Disguised as
I
something else.
think I think it's at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like just still like Cristal, just to let you know, just to if someone comes round. Yeah,
Still got a bit left?
No, Claire's mum had that.
Yeah.
She polished it off.
Oh, that's cheeky asking for the table back.
And I thought, I'm not having it off with you.
Well, no. No. Well, I'm sorry, that sounds like it, but it went badly.
But I do think there's fact. I do think there is fact in it. Like I do, not personality wise. I don't think I'm a really angry person or a fighty person anyway. I can get a bit weepy when I'm drunk, but I don't. But I do get bad hangovers depending on what I've drunk.
I think you're right about mixing things. Well, the other thing about beer
but
is
it's
that
alcohol, isn't it? The body doesn't know the difference between
the body doesn't
beer.
know the difference.
The body just knows the chemical alcohol, doesn't it? So why
the body doesn't know the difference? I think there are also like I really don't understand the point of shots. For example, they seem to me
they're grim, absolutely grim. What
Yeah.
enjoyment do you get out of that? Who enjoys a shot?
I don't understand a shot.
I
at
have been
all.
in so many occasions
I've never liked
where
a shot.
one of my mates have turned up with a tray of shots. They're like, "Come on, we're all getting on the shots," and I've gone, "No, I've just gone, no, I'm not doing it. Don't want to do it.
You're the nice thing.
I am drunk already.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying my beer. I'm having a good time.
It's,
I don't want to now not remember how I got home or
It's
anything.
missing out the only pleasurable bit of the experience.
Yeah.
Like the nice bit is from going from being sober to being drunk fairly slowly. That's what's nice.
Yeah, you ease into it.
It's like saying, oh, instead of going on this roller coaster, I could just take you right to the end if you want. So it's like you've never gone on it.
Yeah.
But you just feel sick.
Yeah.
And you're like, why would I want that?
Yeah.
That's mental. I don't understand. I think also times where I've had terrible hangovers, it's because I just don't count shots as drinks. Like, so when they're...
That's the thing as well, because you've already got a drink.
I've only had 5 pints,
Yeah.
and then there were things in between them. But like, that was... Yeah, I don't understand it at all. I mean, I understand the kind of... The beer and a shot, if you just want to really quickly take the edge off, like it makes more sense for your first drink to be a shot, actually. If you just want to quickly get to the point where you're like, I just want to be drunk, so I'll have the shot first to just get me there, and then I can linger over the beer. I understand the beer and a shot thing.
Yeah.
That does
I remember when I was a teenager.
Not kind of throughout the night.
I don't know if you never hear this anymore, because I think the whole world caught on that it was a bad idea. When I was sort of like 18, 19, I really got into vodka Red Bull.
Yeah, that's a mental drink.
Yeah, absolutely insane.
Totally mental.
And it was one. I was working on a TV show, and I was away in a hotel room, and it was a rap party. It was right at the end, so I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go fucking mental here," and I was like doing double vodka Red Bulls all night long.
It's the Red Bull that fucks you.
All night long. And then I got back to my hotel room and I was like, brilliant, I'll just sleep this off now and I don't have to get up in the morning and then I'll
Yeah.
just travel home. Stayed up all night long and felt my hangover creeping into my body.
Yeah.
And I was just going, why am I not falling asleep? Why am I
Yeah.
not? Why can't I
that's
fall
horrible.
asleep here?
That's horrible.
And then I realised, oh yeah, it's the Red Bull. It's all the caffeine plus the vodka. And I can't remember the last time anyone said the words vodka Red Bull. I don't know if it's because I'm not a kid anymore or.
I can
Lily
almost.
Mae,
I can remember the
you're
feeling now.
substantially younger. Have
Do you ever have a vodka
did you
Red Bull?
Go for vodka Red
I
Bull?
have never been into those, but at
Yeah.
uni, everyone would
Yeah.
drink
Right.
vodka. Yeah, vodka Red Bull. I did have a phase where if I was not able to pre-drink with everyone, we'd have like an absinthe kind of like not proper absinthe because it
Yeah.
wasn't like however high percent,
Yeah.
but we'd have an absinthe bomb, and that was with Red Bull. So I would drink that to catch up.
I had.
Yeah.
There was one time I used to do. I used to drink vodka lemonade before a night out, so that was already drunk, so I didn't have to spend too much money on a night out. And I had a pint glass, and my ritual was while I was getting ready to go out was I'd do half a pint of vodka and half a pint of lemonade, and I'd get that down me, and then that would get me to I'd already be drunk, so then I'd buy like 2 drinks or something like that for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
I
Anyway, so do they make you feel different emotions? I think that there is something in. I think red wine can make you a bit bit loquacious, bit pretentious. I think maybe it's partly it makes you start to slightly role play the sort of person who you think would drink this. So if you're drinking wine, you're maybe more likely to get into a kind of heated political discussion.
Right.
Maybe if
Yeah,
you're drinking beer, you're more likely to talk about football or something. I don't know. Like I have heard the gin thing. I have heard people who say gin makes them depressed.
Well, let me tell you something. I can't remember what emperor it was, a Roman emperor. But obviously, in certain parts of the empire, grapes would grow really well. Italy, south of France, and whatnot. But the sort of barbarians, your northern sort of, gonna say it, Germanic.
There it is. Every week.
And Britain, they didn't make wine, but they would drink beer, or what was beer at that time. And there was a Roman emperor that made a remark saying that beer makes these guys really tough and wild, and that wine is possibly making because they would make it out of grain and the stuff that they would either feed the animals, or if you were being punished as a Roman soldier, you would eat this what do they
what sort of like turnip, some sort of
no what do they make beer out of?
But like wheat.
or wheat.
No, there wasn't hops
Malt?
at this point.
Barley.
Barley. It was barley.
Yeah.
If you were being punished, if you did something wrong
You didn't
in
get
the army, in the Roman army, your punishment was that you would eat barley. So it was seen as sort of like an animal, sort of. It was classed as foreign, and that was a really sort of slanderous thing to call someone in the Roman Empire. But I can't remember what it was. I think it might have been Nero, but he said there's something in this beer because these guys are really fucking wild and tough, and I feel like wine is actually making the empire quite effeminate.
Well, Nero would have wanted coffee, wouldn't he? That would have been so. That's but I think yeah. So in a way, I suppose that's kind of maybe what I am driving at, is that wine was seen as a luxury. So if you start to believe that you are somebody who is entitled to luxury, maybe you do start getting a bit soft, and you think, oh, well, all this fighting is a bit beneath me.
There's something in it, but I don't think it's the alcohol.
No,
I think it's the other ingredients.
I think it's other ingredients. I think there's a little bit of sort of psychosomatic stuff, and I think there's also just how fast you're getting drunk. Like if you're drinking, like obviously if you're not used to spirits and you're drinking spirits, that's going to make you more drunk. But it's not a different type of alcohol. It's just that you're having the equivalent of a lot more.
Yeah, it's just a more concentrated
Yeah.
dose.
But I just have to say, anecdotally, some people have said to me that gin makes them feel depressed, like more than vodka.
Yeah. But
and gin is just vodka flavored with, is it juniper? I think so. Gin and vodka are the same thing, basically.
Is that
It's just
right?
that gin is basically a flavored vodka, and I have heard people say it makes them depressed. So I don't know. I have heard, again.
Is that why Bond asks for a vodka martini?
I don't.
Because
well, no,
I think a martini is actually made with gin.
Well, as another thing that Ian Morris is very a stickler for.
Right.
You shouldn't ever have to ask for a gin martini.
Yeah.
It's just a martini.
Martini,
That's
yeah.
something that he's trying to. It's very important to him.
It is. But I'm gonna go with.
He's trying to raise a load of money actually for it. He's got. He's just.
I'm gonna go with fact. I don't think it's so fact it hurts, but there is anecdotally, historically, there is.
Yeah.
Just through society's own research that we've done, especially in Europe, as a whole continent of big drinkers.
We are a big sort of. It's a big experiment, isn't it?
Yeah. I am gonna go fact. Queen Lily May, do you have any actual information for us?
I've done a bit of digging.
Okay.
The one thing I will say is, so there is some research done in this, but it's self-reported research. So it means anyone who participated in it were reporting their own feelings.
Right.
So I think what you're talking about with the psychosomatic thing, I think that could come into play with this research. However, the research did show that people felt differently with different wines and beers, and they also said 40% of people said that drinking spirits made them feel more sexy. And this was a study of 30,000 people, by the way. Red wine made people feel more lethargic than white wine.
Drinking spirits for me has made other people seem more sexy.
I like that it's some 40% as well, because that's actually the alcohol percentage of spirits.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
Bit
Yeah.
of fun.
And then you can see why that would.
Yeah.
Over half said drinking spirits gave them energy and confidence. And around a third said they felt aggressive when drinking spirits.
Okay.
Drinking spirits were more likely than others to be associated with stronger feelings like aggression, illness, restlessness, and tearfulness.
Less likely.
More likely.
More likely. Okay.
Yeah. And then having a little look around, basically, it seems like the type of alcohol might not necessarily have the impact, but it's the strength of the alcohol. Plus, the research states that the environments that you're drinking the alcohol will also have an effect. So if you're drinking red wine and you're at home and you're trying to relax for the evening, that is sort of an aid, and you're already kind of getting into the mindset. So you're already thinking about what you want to do. If you're drinking a spirit, you're more likely to be going on a night out. You might be drinking more, and you also might be trying to get yourself in a party spirit, so it's more like to enhance what you're looking for. And it was also shown that spirits tended to have a stronger impact because it was a stronger alcoholic content than other.
So context is important. I don't think we can read much into that because of the self-reporting thing, and also because everyone they were asking was drunk.
Yeah, everyone was so pissed.
Was all the research just like there were loads of mistakes in the words?
Yeah. Exactly.
It was all sent to the wrong person. It was just interspersed with calls to their ex, and
Someone had vomit on it.
Exactly. Can't read that bit.
Piss.
Yeah.
Well, what do we? Yeah. So fact. Yeah.
I think we can say fact.
We
The
can say
research.
fact.
The research says fact. It's just yeah.
Well, thank you for that, Irish Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Hopefully, I don't think that that's changed your opinion, and I hope it hasn't, because you said, and I quote, "I think it's a load of old bollocks," which is what I liked about you. So I hope that we haven't. I hope we haven't changed who you are. I think
don't change. Don't
never change.
Hey,
never go
Joe,
back. I
do me
say
a
that.
favour. Don't stop smiling.
I do that. I say that constantly. I've got a fact for you. Have we got time for my fact?
I think we can squeeze one in.
We could. I'll be really, really quick.
What Irish fact have you got up your sleeve for us today, James?
Here we go. The longest running pub license in the world. The license to sell alcohol.
Much better than mine.
Sean's Bar claims to their license claims to date back to 900 AD.
Brilliant.
So over 1,000
Love
years
that.
there. Another quick couple for you.
No,
just ever
that's
so
good.
quickly.
We
just
need them
because
because mine was fucking
just
shit.
because this is fun. Ireland once had, right, I did look this up, and I was getting bits of different. Well, I wasn't getting bits of different information. One piece of information said it was a penguin, but all the others say it was a dolphin. So I'm just going to say dolphin. But Ireland once had a dolphin as a mayor. In the town of Dingle. In the town of Dingle, it was a dolphin named Fungi or Fungi. It showed up daily in the harbour, became a national celebrity, boosted tourism, and was awarded honorary titles from 1983 to 2020.
I love that. Goats used to have a rank in the army. They'd actually be like an
Dogs
honorary.
do and horses do.
Yeah,
and
an honorary
pigeons,
sergeant or
pigeons
something.
have got. Apparently, there's this. I'm sure this will come up at some point when this becomes one of our themes. But there was a sort of animal equivalent to the Victoria Cross that certain animals during the sort of Great War and the Second World War and stuff would get.
I love that, and I hope that these animals also got a sugar cube or like something that they actually want. I don't know whether an animal really wants a ribbon.
Sure. Well, I think some of them was also posthumous.
Yeah.
I also went down a little rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And started asking Google. So, without generalising, what do you think of when you think of the Irish?
Guinness, I suppose.
Sure. So I put,
sorry.
and I listen. They're proud of it.
It's a nice drink.
Yeah.
Like
But
nothing to be ashamed of.
But I put, I started asking the question: do the Irish drink as much as we think?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
And the reality is that Ireland does have high alcohol consumption compared to the world average,
But not the highest in Europe, I'd
but
imagine.
not uniquely extreme.
Yeah.
Anymore, it said.
I have a feeling that Ireland has changed quite a lot. I think they seem to have gone through some quite rapid changes in some cultural areas.
Sure.
Gay marriage, abortion, things like that. And
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the stereotype to do with alcohol is perhaps not
Ireland does rank high in
true,
Europe,
as true as it was.
but it's not number one.
I think I might know what number one is. Can I guess? Have you got it?
I don't. I should have got that.
I think it's
I can look it up.
Belarus. I think it's Belarus. I saw this.
I've got here countries like Czechia.
Yeah.
Is that how I pronounce that?
Yep. Is it? Yeah, Czechia.
Czechia.
Or Czechia. Is it Czechia?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Czechia.
Czechia. But countries like Czechia, Germany, and parts of Eastern Europe often drink more per capita than.
Ireland's in the top 10.
Top 10?
Top 10.
Okay.
I can run you down the top 10 if you want.
Yes, please, yeah.
United Kingdom just falls out. We're 11.
Come on, guys.
Thought I'd give that a shout out.
Drink up.
This is research from 2022.
Is it bad that I'm disappointed? Is it?
I'm a bit disappointed because isn't that
we're
a form of our sort of soft power?
That's a part of our culture, isn't it? We're a nation. We're an island nation of drinkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need to crack on.
We're sort of. You could stick us on a boat, and we'll be absolutely fine. We're naval Irish drinkers.
Absolutely.
Irish. We're naval British drinkers.
Irish.
Trying to sneak that one
what
in.
does the captain do before he turns in for the night? Just
Tot a rum?
checks the level in the whiskey bottle.
Is that right?
Well, I don't know. Someone said that to me.
So at 10 is Slovenia.
Right.
Slovenia.
At 9 is Ireland.
In at number
Right.
9.
At
Okay.
8 is Hungary. At number 7 is France.
Okay.
At number 6 is Lithuania.
Oh,
Right.
5, Estonia.
Yeah.
4, Czechia. 3, Austria. 2, Spain.
Germany.
Spain.
And 1, Latvia.
Latvia.
Germany's not in that
Where's
list.
Belarus gone? Are they not bothering anymore?
Germany is. They're the guys that got us all into hops.
No, Germany was on there, wasn't it?
Germany wasn't on there.
Wasn't it?
That's
No.
nuts.
Nope.
They literally have those. They have those great big jugs of beer that they.
I wouldn't be surprised also if there's a kind of maybe a bit of a religious, like, so for example in Norway's has quite a lot of alcohol consumption,
Right.
but also has quite a lot of like Christianity.
Yeah.
And one of our friends told us once that they'd been to a Norwegian wedding, and it was so religious that not only was there no alcohol at a wedding,
Yeah.
there was no like music, because that was also like sinful,
Right.
and also no
sex.
There wasn't an orgy. Like
No,
there should
there
always be
wasn't.
an orgy.
Yeah, absolutely.
4 p.m. orgy.
Yeah.
Did you, like after the.
It's just after the speeches.
No, it's after the. It's after the. It's during the father of the bride.
Right.
It's during his speech.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, so I think sometimes there's a bit of an interaction between places that are kind of a little bit bipolar. Like there's a huge kind of
Well,
like even maybe someone like Scotland. I imagine there's a kind
I
of
would say
a kind of Protestant type thing going
maybe
on. Like,
Protestant, but
like
well, I was brought up Catholic, and like wine's big in the Bible.
yeah.
Like that's the best propaganda.
Well,
that
he wasn't
alcohol was ever
He
had.
wasn't changing wine into water, was he?
No, yeah, exactly, yeah,
It was like,
yeah.
please get rid of all this wine. We hate
I
this.
was sick of this water.
Yeah.
Wait
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah.
Like alcohol gets a really big sort of. It gets bigged up in the
and
Bible.
rightly so. And as you know, we've discussed. You know, it has
we
it
used
has
to-
its own gods.
we-
It
we
has
used to-
not in
yeah.
Christianity, but
No, it's had there was if I had the name, I'd seem really clever. In Sumatra, there was a is that the right? Have I said that right?
I don't know. Just depends.
Sumerian.
depend-
It was like ancient.
Oh,
ancient,
no,
ancient.
Sumatra. I think is in Indonesia. Well, it doesn't really. Well, it does matter, but Sumeria.
Yeah, is that what I'm thinking of?
It might be
Really
also-
ancient, like 5,000 BC. There's a goddess, the goddess of beer.
Yeah.
And there's a prayer that you say to this goddess, and it's basically the ingredients of how you make beer.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't want to forget, I suppose.
yeah,
Don't-
it's like alcohol's
forget.
like.
Yeah.
And I was brought up Catholic, and we used to have our priests come round for dinner and stuff like that every now and again.
Mm.
And obviously, there's lots of stuff that you're not allowed to do that is sin.
Mm.
But alcohol seems to be
Yeah.
a bit of a vice that you're allowed to get on board with.
Yeah.
And he used to get fucking. He'd come round and like watch the Champions League or something during the 90s in the or the European Cup or whatever it was called at the time.
Yeah.
And he would get hammered.
Oh.
He would get absolutely. And,
Oh,
but everyone was
good on
like,
him.
yeah, bloke can't get his leg over, so he can, give him a beer at least.
Yeah, and also Catholicism never really bothered with that kind of Puritanism that came along with. So you're not going to get the kind of
It was a bit more fun.
yeah, Protestantism can get a little bit killjoy,
It was a
little bit Oliver
was a bit-
Cromwell. Like
yeah,
you can't do
Protestantism-
this, you can't do
it was
that.
a bit-
you
you're
can't
not-
dance at your own wedding.
You're not behaving
Like-
yourself.
Yeah. Whereas the Catholics seem to be a little bit more like
Let's
That's
add
okay.
a bit of colour
Yeah.
to this. Let's
yeah,
have some stained glass windows put in.
yeah. What's the harm in that?
Anyway, they were my little facts about Ireland.
I really like them.
I don't know about
Thank
you,
you.
Joe, but I'm all fact
I'm
out.
fact out. My
What have we learned
goodness.
today? Lily Mae, can you sum us up what we learned
What
today?
an absolute cop out.
I
Oh,
can't be bothered.
Well, we learned
I could
about.
have a go.
Oh, go on, Joe. You have a go.
Well, he had a.
We've learned that St. Patrick had a staff. It came
made of
from
ash.
Jesus, who'd
Yeah.
also made a couple live, presumably forever.
Yeah,
He planted it in the ground. It turned into a town in Cumbria.
yeah.
We
We learnt that depending on what you drink, it does affect you.
it does affect your emotions. We're saying,
And we also affect that Ireland doesn't drink as much,
as you think,
as you think
but
they do.
does drink a bit.
They do drink a bit. We hope that you've learned something or had a nice time. We'll be back next week, armed with more facts, chats, and beer mats.
Good.
And don't forget that you can get in touch with us if you'd like us to fact check something that feels true for you or whatever nonsense you want to get to us. Our email is hello@joeandjamespod.com. Our WhatsApp is 07822034330. And you can also follow us on social media @joeandjamespod. And head to the podcast description if you've already forgotten those details. Bye, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for
Bye.
listening.
Joe and James, fact up.